Kalian kok ini
Welcome to another edition of the Progressive My Show here in Chicago, live on the If you're just joining, please help share the feed to your friends and our friends. We're live both on Facebook and on YouTube Live. It is my show on YouTube. This evening, we are going to be talking to the great people here who are in our society, in our communities. They are neighbors, they are my neighbors. And the topic today is the thriving Vitiligo community. Thriving Vitiligo community, the opportunities, the challenges, and the champions. With me are great, wonderful people. I must say that I am very, very excited because prior to this show, I have been wondering, I have been preparing and thinking about what we ought to do in this pandemic that will be different. What conversations can we have which will be outside the scope of the pandemic? Because almost everything we talk about has to be tied to the pandemic because that is our season now. It seems to be our way of life today. However, we have to move, we have to live, we have to deal with the other things that we come across and we face and we deal with in this world that we live in. And so we have been blessed to have this great people who are going to be helping to make a great conversation. Please stay tuned as you always have. And we will, of course, not continue the show without going to Captain Mike for his segment. Right after that, we will come back to these great folks. The conversation will begin. My brother, it's been a long week. We haven't seen you. We haven't heard from you. Good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good to see you. I'm doing really well.
Excellent, bro. Well, yes, it's nice weather. Rained a little bit, I think, yesterday. But all in all, yesterday did not rain the day before. And today, it seemed like it's going to rain. But you would know more. You would know what was. Go ahead and tell us what's going on.
Well, right now at Midway Airport, we have 74 degrees. Winds rather west. There are some cloudy skies. You might get a stray shower here or there, but we're looking at it's going to be pretty dry. And these are going to be the last few days of really nice weather. And as you know, the graphics department, we spare no expense. So the rest of tonight, we're looking at a low of 60, which could get down to our record low of 63. Tomorrow, a beautiful day. Sunny skies, 80 degrees, low of about 60. Friday, we're going to start warming up. About 80 degrees, low in the mid-60s. Saturday, that's when we get our real warm up. 85 degrees, low of about 75. So our low is going to be around our high today. So we tell you that heat is coming back. Sunday, that's going to be a big scorcher. Where's Sunday? Sunday, 90 degrees. But with all that humidity, it's going to be close to 100 degrees. So we will prepare for that. Into Monday, same thing. And we're looking at maybe a shower thunderstorm late Monday night. Then we get back into the mid-80s and lower 70s later in the week. So, yeah, we're looking at a return to the summer and above normal temperatures. And, really enjoy this last few nights of cool weather because it's coming back. Now, in our sports, we have Premier League scores. Arsenal defeated Watford 3-2. Brighton defeats Burnley 2-1. Chelsea defeats Wolverhampton 2-0. Crystal Palace and Tottenham fought to a tie 1-1. Bournemouth defeated Everton 3-1. Man U defeats Leicester 2-0. Man City defeats Norwich 5-0. Liverpool dominates Newcastle 3-1. Southampton over Sheffield 3-1. West Ham over Aston 1-1. No, actually a tie. They fought to a good draw there. Now, in our health and fitness report, we're going to talk about the COVID-19 mental health We're all locked in. We're not doing normal things. And even before this pandemic, 1 in 5 adult Americans are suffering from mental health issues. So what are some of the ways we can try to help ourselves through this pandemic? 1, eat healthy. Keep healthy snacks around. Don't try to over binge and get put on too much COVID weight. 2, on that same topic, we're going to exercise. So exercise really improves our mental health. Practice relaxation. Find some relaxation techniques, whether it be doing yoga or stretching or just listening to some soft music and breathing. 4, let the light in, because exposure to light can really improve your disposition. 5, be kind to yourself. Treat yourself nice. Don't get too wrapped up on anything, especially work. Things come and go. This will leave too. 6, stay connected with friends and family, whether it be social media. Make some calls. Call some people you haven't called in a while. Let's see how they're doing. 7, you monitor your media consumption, because it can be overwhelming, all the things are going on. So kind of turn off the TV every now and again. And I want to talk to you about going to the website where it's mentalhealthfirstaid.org. mentalhealthfirstaid.org. And for anyone who thinks they may need it, the suicide hotline, 1-800-273-8255. 1-800-273-8255. Give that to anyone you think may need it. We all need to help each other out through this. And with that, Sina, we're going back to you, brother.
Thank you, my brother. One thing that I hope nobody needs is the suicide hotline. Okay, so thanks for providing that information. My prayer is that nobody has to use it, right? But thank you so much.
Use it if you have to, but yeah, don't do anything rash. We'll get over this.
Exactly. That's true. Well, brother, I always like to get the airline tidbits. What's going on with the airlines?
Well, it's the same as always. We're about 20% capacity as we were, as opposed to last year this time. And slowly but surely, our numbers actually ticked down just a bit, so that's not good. But really, a lot of our airline officials are saying until we find a cure, we're not going to be anywhere over 50% capacity. So right now we're about 20%. So it's same old Groundhog Day. But
okay.
It's not getting too much worse, so that's a good thing.
Exactly. We're hoping that gradually and steadily we can come back to normalcy. Our society can come back to normal life. All right, brother. Always nice to see you. Always nice to have you. We're sure to see and hear from you next week. But for now, go home, take a walk, have some dinner, enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. Be good, and we'll keep in touch. All right.
All right. Make sure the AC is working this weekend.
All right. Okay. We'll definitely be on top of that. All right, that was Captain Mike with his segment. We are back to the Progressive Mind Show. This is the platform where we dialogue, we engage the community in dialogues that would uplift, bring hope, and encourage someone. Join the movement. Go to our website, theprogressivemindshow.com, and join the movement. Contribute to us. Make a donation. Send us an email. Give us your feedback. This is how we can grow as a people. There's no way. No one can build alone. Definitely, so we definitely need to embrace and engage each other in the positive light, taking away hate, taking away envy, and looking up to the fact that we're all one people, and we need to grow our society in the most positive light. So this evening, welcome again. My name is Sena, aka Linko. I'll be your host for the rest of the evening and for the rest of the show to come. Okay. That was just by the way. We are also live on our YouTube page, theprogressivemindshow.com. Remember to share the feed. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we will definitely go to this great audience here. Please share the feed. My guests, my audience, go out and share the feed. We shall be back. welcome to the Progressive Mind Show. I'll go straight to my guest, please. If you are in a busy area and maybe some background noise where you are,
Did you go?
I please welcome you to mute your microphone so that when it's your turn to speak, you can turn it on. Okay, it will help us with the feedback. Thank you all so much. Well, let's go straight into it. Tonight, we are joined on this wonderful, great topic, the thriving community of Vitiligo.
Yeah,
Whatever it is,
it'll light on its own
we,
when it's time. So all I did was I bled all the air of the gas line through here, tightened that part up.
is anybody on video set?
If it leaks from the gas, I'm gonna run outside and grab a bucket and clean up all that stuff that's in the cupboard there. And then I'll grab my ladder and stuff and I'll get out here.
I'm trying to see. Okay. So I think the feedback was from Pearl. We'll try and let her do that for us. The theme for tonight is challenges, champions, and finding the cure for vitiligo. And my guests are IOMIKOE Johnson. I had to rehearse the name before the start of the show, okay? And she helped me out. So IOMIKOE, thank you for helping me out, right? I mean, IOMIKOE Johnson, who is an international model and also the CEO of Perfectly Painted Cosmetics. Not next to her, but also on the show.
Excuse me, we're all having a hard time hearing you, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay, is the volume a little better now?
Yeah, it's better.
It's better? Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, great. Thank you for giving me that feedback. So on the show this evening, so IOMIKOE, can we give us a wave? Okay. Also on the show is JASMINE COLGAN. She is a civil rights activist and a professional photographer. JASMINE, do we have JASMINE on here?
Funny, good evening.
Okay, JASMINE, we can see your video, just FYI, okay? And then Dr. NOUFAL RABOOBEE is also on the show. He is a dermatologist and the president of Vitiligo Society of South Africa. Dr. NOUFAL, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Pearl AGBOKA is also a vitiligo advocate. She resides in Canada. Pearl, you are welcome to the Progressive Mind Show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then Arthur Benjamin Brown is a real estate investment agent and the head of the Vitiligo and Albinism Network, all the way from North Carolina. No,
all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Hello.
Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, I think North Carolina is IOMIKOE.
No, I'm Louisiana.
Louisiana. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna. Oh no. Oh, Sparkle. Sparkle is North Carolina. Yes.
No, I'm not.
Oh my God. Who's from North Carolina?
I'm not from North Carolina. I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Oh yes, Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado. Okay, I am mistaking that for North Carolina. Thank you for the correction. Sparkle Lindsay is a peer support specialist. And she is with the Spring Recovery Connection. Thank you so much for your presence this evening. I know I'm not missing anybody. Okay, right. No, it looks like we have Lindsay in the back. Okay, Lily. Sorry, I just introduced Lindsay. Lily Keller is also part of the conversation this evening. Lily Keller, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. We shall go into the show. Not before that.
Are you looking for fast?
We would want to take a shot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Progressive Mind Show. And I will start from right, Dr. NOUFAL RABOOBEE. Before we can dive into the discussion, I did like you all. I just want all my panel to take 30 seconds to acknowledge people who have lost loved ones and friends due to COVID-19. And then once we're through, we can into the discussion on the table this evening. Please go ahead, Dr. NOUFAL.
Yeah, well, if you want to know about COVID-19 and what's happening in South Africa, you know that the curve is increasing in South Africa. We are losing more and more people. The curve is going up, so we are by no means flattening the curve at the moment. We are back at our practices. We are seeing patients. We are seeing vitiligo patients as well. But we have instituted a whole lot of precautions when patients come over to see us in the office, for example. The kind of things we've instituted, a sanitization when they enter the hospital, temperatures are taken regularly before they come in. When they come into our rooms, everything is sanitized, including doorknobs, the desks, the chairs, the surfaces. Everything in the practice is sanitized when they come in. Patients are encouraged to come alone if they're adults, and if they are children, they come with one parent, and if they are elderly, then they come with one parent. But we are seeing vitiligo patients. We do try to triage patients and offer them online consultations. And a lot of the time, vitiligo can be treated online. The only difficulty is patients sometimes would send areas of photographs depicting only a small part of the skin where there's quite extensive involvement. So that's one of the downsides of trying to do online consultation. So,
okay, no problem. We'll give you a chance to go into the details. For now, I'm going to take 30 seconds to
all right.
give everybody a chance to introduce.
Okay, perfect.
Give everybody a chance to acknowledge people who may have lost their lives due to.
Perfect.
Thank you, though. We will come back to that. IOMIKOE, please.
Yeah.
Actually, I lost a cousin today. Her name is Katrina Caesar. She was a mother, and she was an awesome cousin, an awesome sister and friend. And she passed away this morning. So everybody pray for her and her family. Well, pray for her family that they, this is difficult to deal with. She was so young, and she was one of the sweetest cousins that I have. So she will be truly missed.
Sorry to hear that. Our condolences go out to her. I mean, to her family. Sparkle Lindsay, please.
Yeah, I don't have anybody in the family right now who is suffering from COVID, but I do know with my career right now as a peer support specialist, we've been dealing with a lot of the hard strains of COVID-19 and just staying sane. So for me, I think a lot of it is about the sanity and keeping ourselves with that hope, knowing that soon there'll be a vaccine and people can be well and just, hopefully we can all be helpful to one another. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Lily Keller. And Lily Keller, I understand you are, okay, so go ahead, please. I'm hearing that you're part owner of Vitiligo Beauty, but you mentioned earlier that, you probably own it with someone. So maybe clarify that and also use the time to acknowledge anybody who within your circles who may have lost a life due to COVID-19.
I am an active participant in the vitiligo community. I run the Instagram account vitiligo.beauty, and people send me their pictures and I talk with them about what they're going through with vitiligo in like negative and positive ways. And I haven't been personally affected by COVID, but I live in a small tourist town and people from the city are starting to come up more. They're wanting to get out, and that's affecting my town a lot.
Okay, thank you. Jasmine, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, Jasmine, anybody who have lost due to the COVID-19 in your circles or network, doesn't matter. A shout out to them.
Yeah, I've lost an aunt on my mom's side, and it's scary. And I've had a friend recover from it as well. So it's just scary times, I think. for everybody.
Right, right. Well, our sincere condolences, and we're praying for you and your family. Pearl.
Yeah, I don't have anybody in my family.
Okay.
And I don't know anybody that has passed on, but I would say we are praying for everybody that has been affected.
Okay. Brown.
No, thank God we don't have anyone in the family who has been directly affected by COVID-19. I have known a few people who have contracted it and recovered, but Tennessee being one of the higher states with the numbers, we're definitely taking all precautions, and school is just starting back, so we're just staying prayerful for the students.
Okay. Well, again, thanks for the brief introduction.
Sorry, can I?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. NOUFAL, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't hear your question initially, so I answered a different question. I'm in a hospital, and we have many healthcare workers who are losing their lives there. And I would just like to pay a tribute to those people that are giving their lives. We just today had a healthcare worker who lost his wife, and the wife was a nurse in the hospital that I work in. And I'd just like to express my condolences to the family. I've also had a personal family member that's been in ICU for the last 3 weeks, and fortunately came out of it and had remdesivir and had tocilizumab and the whole works, the entire treatment. And fortunately, that was a good outcome. But we've lost a lot of people that have been close to us. So our deepest condolences.
Excellent. Our deepest condolences from the team, from the Progressive Minds team. We praying for your family, and we're hoping that things would normalize. Again, nothing can replace the loss of lives of these loved ones, but we are confident that God, who is the comforter, will comfort you all. The purpose of this evening is that we engage our society now in these type of dialogues that we don't regularly have. And some of you I have spoken with, just interacted, but I don't know you. But I know that this is something that is dear on your heart, because you all have organizations that you are championing to get the word one way or the other, try to get the word of vitiligo, the awareness, and whatnot. Let me start with we don't have to look into the definition of vitiligo, but what does it mean to have vitiligo? What is it? We see it, but let me get from your own perspective. And because of time, there's a lot of things we're going to go into, but because of time, specifically, what does it mean to you to have vitiligo? Or what due to your experience, what is vitiligo? Let me start from Keller, and then we'll go all the way up. Lily Keller, please.
Well, vitiligo is just an autoimmune disorder where you lose the pigment in your skin, and it can affect anywhere on your body. And it looks different in most people. Some people have a harder time with it. And some people can accept it and continue on.
Okay, Jasmine.
Yes.
Yes. Did you hear my question?
Yes, I did. So, to me, vitiligo is many things. It's a communal connection to other people. I mean, I met Sparkle Lindsay a couple years ago. Your spots have changed so much. You look so beautiful.
Hi.
Okay. Sorry, I have but so vitiligo is a difference. It's a skin condition. It's not a disorder. It's not a disease. It's something that we are beautiful because we were chosen to look this way. We were chosen to embrace each spot. It goes with our identity. But I believe it's triggered from stress. I think that we get into a stressful moment in our lives, and our body is trying to communicate, and it communicates through our skin. And sometimes it's focalized in certain areas where we touch a lot, or where we stress, like maybe it's your fingertips, maybe it's your lips, maybe it's your neck because you rub your neck a lot. Like everyone's different. I agree. But I think that skin protection is the most important. So sunburns are something I think.
All right.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right, Pearl.
So I think it's obvious. Everybody says it, but then inside it affects us a lot because we stress a lot when people stare at us, and also we go through a lot of emotional problems. Yeah.
Where do you live? Where you live?
Canada.
So you are in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got it right this time. I missed Sparkle. I missed Lily. I missed everybody. You were the only one getting right. So
It's okay.
Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, vitiligo was life altering. I describe it as getting hit by a tidal wave. It just came out of nowhere. I was 35 years old. I was majority brown, my entire adult life. And then all of a sudden, white patches formed all over my body. So it was an identity crisis. I had to get to know who I was beyond my skin color, and that was difficult. It took me roughly 5 years to get my footing and to kind of get over the devastation of this shock.
That is what, maybe in addition to telling us what it means to you, you can tell us when it started for you, because that's powerful what you said at the age of 35, out of nowhere. So Sparkle, your turn now.
Well, vitiligo for me has brought out my authentic self, the beauty within myself, not so much the color of my skin, but the content of my character and my demeanor. And it has helped me to be able to speak the word for people who feel like vitiligo is not a depigment disorder. So it is an autoimmune condition. And it's good to see you again, Jasmine. But one of the big pieces I did when I got it, my father has it and so does my sister. And one thing we did is we walked through it, and we felt our emotions through the vitiligo and how it made us feel, so that we could walk through the feelings, the initial feelings, and then from there actually make it a part of us. And that's one of the reasons why I call it more so the content of my character versus the skin color that I have. But it also gave me a sense of empowerment to be able to let people know that this is my authentic self, and I love that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. IOMIKOE.
Vitiligo to me, it means I just don't know how I would live without it, because it's like she said, it has become a part of my identity and who I am. I'm always getting questions of my race all the time, if I'm black or if I'm white. So sometimes that part of it gets annoying, having to always say I'm black, just because I have a skin condition doesn't mean that it takes away my race or my identity with my race. But I love my vitiligo. Like she said, I think it formed like into its own like artwork. So I feel like I am like living art. Like I'm living art, just the way that it was it initially started, and how it transformed. I mean, we're so amazing that no one person looks like us. We all have our own signature patches, and I think that's absolutely amazing. That's like
beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beauty in itself. Dr. NOUFAL RABOOBEE, you have been practicing. You are a dermatologist. We can't hear you. I think your microphone is off. We can't hear you. I think he can. Your microphone is off, so you might want to on your computer. He was fine a few minutes ago. Okay, I think he's having a problem, but we'll come to we'll try to come to Lily. At what age did you were you born with it, or did you realize it at a certain age? And when you did, what was the reaction? You personally, and then your family and the community. You personally, your family, and the community.
Yeah. I was diagnosed when I was about 7. And when I was little, I didn't really care about it at all. But then once I went to like middle school, people started like asking more questions and making fun of it a little bit. So I started to feel a lot more self-conscious of it. But then when I started like reaching out to other people in the vitiligo community, and just talking about our shared experiences with vitiligo, I felt a lot more connected and a part of something. My family, we're fine with it. My dad wanted me to try different creams to make it go away when I was little, but I stopped using those.
Okay.
And it is kind of a little annoying, like walking around outside and having people ask you, like, "Oh, what happened to your skin?" But I think I do understand those questions, but.
Right. Pearl, do we have Dr.
Can you hear now?
Yes, we can. Excellent. This is our new age now. This is our new age technology.
I heard your question earlier. Look, from a medical point of view, I wish I could have people like Miko to explain to patients how to handle their vitiligo, because she seems to have come to terms with the vitiligo like so many other panelists. And it's wonderful to see the acceptance of that vitiligo. On the other hand, as doctors, we are seeing patients in whom there's a tremendous amount of psychological hardship when it comes to vitiligo. For example, they suffer from low self-esteem. You find a lot of the time they're depressed, they have low self-confidence, their interpersonal relationship with other people suffer. They have a tremendous amount of difficulty getting a job. For example, if 2 people apply for a job, the people who are taking on those people are going to regard vitiligo a criterion to decide whether to give them the job or not. I went to the supermarket the other day, and one patient with vitiligo tells me that the previous customer refused to handle any money by this particular teller. And we have these kind of psychological issues. It's demoralizing for the patients because it is totally unpredictable. They don't know where the vitiligo is going to end. They don't know what they're going to wake up to the following morning. And we have all these issues. It's also stigmatized in certain communities where the young girls find it difficult to even get partners. So we have all these issues that we. I hope that puts into perspective some of the psychological problems that we see. I heard a very nice saying from Dr. Hamzavi. He's from the United States, and he says that vitiligo bruises the soul rather than the body. And I think that's so true in a lot of ways.
Vitiligo bruises the soul rather than the body, and that's something powerful to learn. So how long have you been practicing as a dermatologist?
For 31 years.
For 31 years, you've been practicing.
We've been seeing the entire spectrum of vitiligo. Yeah.
For 31 years, and what's the name of your clinic, and how long has it been in existence?
We've had the Vitiligo Society of South Africa, and that has been in existence since 2008. So this is a society that creates awareness of vitiligo throughout the country, and in fact, even beyond its borders. So it's been around. Do you want me to go on with it, or wait for you to specifically ask whatever you need to know?
So what do you do with that society? Are you there to provide counseling, health, medical health?
We do. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. We provide counseling. We provide information about the disease, not only to patients but to the doctors as well. That we teach about new treatments regarding vitiligo. We describe current and up-to-date treatments. We even bring people from overseas to teach various surgical techniques for vitiligo. We establish support groups, and we man those support groups. We facilitate research. We maintain a website for them to come in and have a look and see what treatments are available. We run the Instagram account, which is Vitiligo Society SA. We provide a list of all the doctors that patients can go to and to tell them what facilities are available for the treatments that each dermatologist has. And the funding is also done. The main thing is to fight against discrimination against patients who suffer from vitiligo. Now, we had a major webinar about a week ago, and this webinar included 18 countries, and it had several hundred delegates from all over the place. And I think in future, when we have these webinars, we'll certainly let you know, so you can let the vitiligo population know so that they could join us in future.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. When is the next one coming up?
We just had one this week, so I think the next one will be in about 6 months, but we'll certainly get you involved.
So the issue with people having low self-esteem is the fact that doctors are coming in and saying that there's something wrong with us and they need to fix us. And they have treatments for us that they want to cure us. And there's nothing wrong with us. I think there was a documented case in the 1700s of this image of a beautiful woman. And her name is Marina Marina. And she was known as a work of art, a living work of art, that God had blessed this woman.
Yeah.
She was so beautiful and that she was meant to stand out. But then when colonization happened, it became that different was bad and everything else must look the same. And so I find a lot of issues with this. I understand that there are, like, everyone's different. Some people are looking to re-stimulate those melanocytes. Some people are looking to embrace it. So I find that, like, I find it really contradicting in the fact that most doctors who don't have it, like most doctors who are treating vitiligo, do not in fact have vitiligo. And you're not seeing it from our perspective. And I think that is the issue where a lot of people are having these, self-esteem, like you said, self-esteem issues, like why we can't find partners. It's because we are stigmatized and we are categorized into disease when we are not a disease.
Okay.
Yes, because like when my dermatologist introduced, when I went to the dermatologist to get diagnosed with vitiligo, he scared the crap out of me with them pictures. And I don't know. I mean, having it for the last 16 years and talking about it to other people who say, you know, message me all the time and say, I think I'm getting vitiligo. Can you give me some advice to how I can, you know, live with it? I see you are free and you, you know, you love yourself and you're confident. What Jasmine said is true. Like, how can a doctor that does not have the condition really understand? Because all of us don't feel like that. Like, I literally love my vitiligo. Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
I don't want to cure it.
That's perfect. We find it totally acceptable, and it's lovely if you do.
Great. So yeah. I wanted to. I started a question when we couldn't get Dr. NOUFAL to get Dr. NOUFAL on the line. At what age? What time did you discover it? What was your experience? Pearl, I would want to give everybody the opportunity to respond to that quickly, and then we can come back to where we were. Okay, Jasmine, you wanted to respond to that?
Sorry, which one?
Did you want to? Okay, I'm saying, at what age did you discover that you have vitiligo, and what was the experience for you then?
Yeah, I mean, it was a challenging transition because I mean, did Lily already answer? I didn't. Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't skip. But, I was diagnosed at 21. I've had it for about 9 years. It was a challenge because I felt like I was an outsider. And when I started to do my own social research, personal research, I met so many individuals. Like, that's how I know Sparks, and I know her family. And I mean, I met her brother once. He's a football player for the Denver Broncos. But like, I met him on campus, and like, I'm like, I know you because I know your sisters. Like, I didn't even know he played football for the team. But like, with that being said, I think that like, I created a nonprofit organization called Tough Skin, which is an empowerment organization for people to educate about the fact that we are the same, and the fact that we all have skin. And the most important thing about skin is that we protect it. So I have gone through all the treatments and stuff. Wouldn't recommend them. It's really more hazardous to your identity and your psychological transition, because it's really feeding you this idea that you should be halting who you're supposed to be.
Okay. So in your own opinion, it's natural, it's God-given, and you have to embrace it.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. Pearl, at what age did you experience it? And how did that whole did it change your life? What was your experience? I mean, what was your feeling when you realized that you had it?
I was diagnosed when I was 12, but I didn't really care about it. I was very okay about it until I got married. When I got married and I started giving birth, then it started spreading very fast.
Okay.
Then the color in my face started fading out. And I started getting worried because of how people stares at me and ask questions. And my sisters tried very hard to treat it. They spent a lot of money on that to cure it, but it couldn't get cured. My mommy was very worried. But then one day my kids just got up and be like, "Mommy, why wouldn't you stop?" Actually, I was covering it with makeup. So my kids said, "Mommy, why won't you stop using a makeup? We are so okay with the way you look." And I was surprised. I was really shocked.
Wow.
So I stopped. I wasn't comfortable, but I stopped. And anywhere I go to, they go with me. And it started giving me confidence. And truly, I started loving myself more. I've come to love who I am. I've accepted it. And I'm able to even encourage other people to love who they are, because I feel we are uniquely made.
In your experience, you would say that your kids actually embolden you. They pushed that, whatever it was, whether fear, whether any negative attributes that there are that was keeping you down and making you cover it. Your children, they push that out of you and made you come out and feel very comfortable with your own skin, and that is powerful. That's powerful. This is why we have to. Kids are not just kids, and they're not just little things working, little ones walking around. They actually more than that. This attests to that. Thank you so much for sharing that powerful story, Lindsay. Oh no, Ben, please, Ben.
I love this panel because it gives me an opportunity to show the other side. Excuse me, y'all.
We can see you clearly, though. There's no problem with your camera.
Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect.
No, I was getting a call. I had to. So, okay, back to you guys. Sorry about that. So about 3 years ago, I reached out to IOMIKOE on this panel. I met her through Facebook because I was one of the people who struggled very severely, like going in public. I would go to the grocery stores like at midnight or after 1 o'clock in the morning when the store was empty. Like when people stared at me, I would want to fight. I would want to, like, what are you looking at? Like I was that type of guy, and it was very difficult for me to deal with this. And there was no one around for me to turn to, so I turned to Facebook and I reached out to IOMIKOE because she was posting videos and she was expressing her love for herself and how she doesn't care what anybody thinks, and how, you know, she's gonna live her best life. And that inspired me to actually start my group to inspire others while trying to actually find my own confidence. So it's been 5 years. I was 35, now I'm 40, and I'm finding my strength. I don't feel like some of these people like, oh, my vitiligo is so beautiful and amazing. No, I'm not there yet, but I pray to be there. But in the meantime, I'm happy. I'm functioning as I should now, and I have enough confidence to do what I need to do.
Great. Now, at the age of 35, when you realize that you have vitiligo, my question is, what was it? Did you did you put you to depressed for a week? Did you just not want to live? Like, how was it? How did you take it?
Well, thank God it never got to the point of suicide. I got very severely depressed. I would classify it as clinically depressed. I mean, I considered not going back to work because I was so embarrassed and people was cracking jokes at work. And the one guy told me, he said, "Man, I don't want to look at that. You know, and they called the police on me one day because my vitiligo started around my eyes and around my mouth, and the rest of my face was dark. And 9 police showed up looking for me, saying, "We saw someone come in the building with a mask on, and he got out of your car." So you know, constantly dealing with like little things like that, like you just don't want to be there. You just want to run and hide. But I knew that that wasn't the reality. I had children, I had responsibilities, so I had to find my strength. It wasn't easy, but through these groups that we're all, you know, affiliated with, I found it.
That's powerful. Link, Sparkle, please.
Well, I have 4 autoimmune conditions. I have lupus, myasthenia gravis, fibromyalgia, and my 4th condition is vitiligo. So when I got vitiligo, I was 30. Like I said before, my sister and my father have had it all my life. So when I got it, I kind of knew exactly what I was looking for. I had already kind of dealt with it with my family and being able to work together to walk through it together. But I also took it, like I said, with empowerment. And it made me feel like being able to stand up here in my skin, knowing that I win, and walking forward, walking tall, with a demeanor that is the content of my character, has made me be able to walk through it. So I gained a lot of strength from having the authentic self I have right now from my vitiligo, from my spots. And also, you know, I've gained a lot of great friends from it. People who are in groups that realize that no matter who we are or what we do, together we can stand tall with our skin. You know, Jasmine was another person. I met with her and we had a wonderful time just talking about the things we embrace about our spots, our smiles, our happiness, you know, and going back to what the doctor said, sometimes we create self-esteem issues with people just by stating things that are not normally true. Not everybody feels that way with their vitiligo, but I know for me, one of the biggest pieces was being able to stand strong in my skin and tell people that it is okay. Don't hide, because there's nothing to hide from. Smile while you walk in your skin, be happy, be hopeful, and take it day by day, you know? And I also noticed that for me, being more in tune with my emotions and being more in tune with how I feel and being able to let people know that gave a lot of hope and help for people who are going through vitiligo, who are going through lupus, who are going through alcohol and addiction, whatever it may be. As long as you know where you stand, and as long as I knew where I stood, I could focus on what I could control only, and that alone helped others follow and be a part of my journey. So it's been a really, really great experience for me with vitiligo and with other autoimmune conditions as well. And I continue to encourage people to stand out there, step up, and be who you are. People will love you for who you are, no matter what is going on with you.
Dr. NOUFAL, how many scientists, researchers, or doctors do you have in your society, the Vitiligo Society of South Africa?
Look, the Vitiligo Society incorporates all the dermatologists in the country. So in the country, we have 167 dermatologists. And many of them are in vitiligo research. Not all of them, of course. Some have different interests. But there are many that are very keen researchers in vitiligo.
Okay. Are there any new research coming up with, you know, with regards to, you know, a cure because in your study, you think it's a skin condition, and so you've been practicing as
no, certainly. But I must add that I've been very encouraged listening to the panelists, and certainly when we have a next get together, they are going to be part of our invited guests. And I think our next topic should be being proud in the skin you're in. So I'm certainly not suggesting that everybody who has vitiligo must get treatment. And if we can let everybody think like them, to be proud of the skin they're in, then of course nobody needs any treatment because you just need to be proud of what you are. But the thing is, some people want to be treated. Some people want to have their color put back. Some have vitiligo so extensively that they want the color taken out. And I think you'll agree that if there's very extensive vitiligo and there are small areas of pigmentation and the patients want that pigment removed so that they look a single color, then they should have that choice and to have that treatment done.
Okay.
So,
are there any new treatments coming up now that, you know, we probably didn't have maybe 5, 6, 3 years ago?
Yeah. Yes, there's the tofacitinib and riloxitinib, and these newer treatments are being investigated. They're not available commercially yet, but we can get it and we are using it in patients. There's also afamelanotide that has its effect. We use certain lasers at the moment. We are using the alexandrite laser and the ruby lasers, and these are to remove pigment in people. Those that want the pigments removed. These are some of the newer treatments. And in South Africa, we are using a lot of surgical treatments where we transplant skin from one area to another. It's not suitable for everyone. The vitiligo needs to be stable. So there are several surgical innovations that are being made. For example, we can create suction blisters and then remove the tops of those blisters and plant them in vitiligo areas. We do a lot of that. The sponge grafting, where we take tiny little pieces of skin from a normally pigmented area and transplant them onto areas that are depigmented. And recently there was a study done in Korea where they've taken very small grafts and planted them into the vitiligo areas with cosmetic outcome, a very good result. And that's better than the old grafts that used to be done with very large grafts where you used to get a lot of cobblestoning. Nowadays, we have another innovative surgery that creates blisters in the skin, and into the blister we inject trypsin, and the trypsin dissolves the skin inside, and we're able to separate out the melanoma pigments. We collect those pigment cells and transplant them onto areas of vitiligo, and you can get quite a sizable area done. For example, the entire arm or the entire leg, and we've done ankles and knees and hands and face and so on, and it does well also in segmental vitiligo. Then there's non-cultured melanocyte grafting, where we take a little piece of skin and the skin is separated out in a laboratory, in a petri dish, into its melanocytes, and then we denude pieces of skin where there is vitiligo and transplant that skin. So these are all surgical treatments that are being investigated and they are being performed. So we do them quite extensively in South Africa.
Could I ask a question by chance?
Yes.
Of course, the other treatments are still being offered. For example, phototherapy is being used, and we find that for small areas, the excimer laser works very nicely.
Great.
Narrowband UVB has been around for a long time.
Dr. Noufal, before you continue, Jasmine wanted to ask a question. Please go ahead.
Well, just with like the skin grafts, have you noticed like any trauma from the skin that you're sourcing it from? So like if you're going for like a darker area and you're putting that to a lighter area, does the darker area get lighter from the trauma of?
So we're also investigating systemic therapies. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but there's a type of treatment called oral mini-pulse therapy in those who have unstable vitiligo. If the vitiligo is unstable, it's very important to stabilize it first before we do any surgical treatment. Using systemic cortisone on Saturday and Sunday. So once a week, they're given systemic steroids to stop the acne from spreading. And those who want to stop it spreading, that option is available. Are fine with the vitiligo, they don't need to have anything done. But these are some of the treatments that are available. Recently, there's been a study on minocycline, and minocycline, I think, will be familiar to a lot of people as an acne medication. It has been shown to stabilize vitiligo, to stop its spread. So this is being used as well. And I mentioned now afamelanotide and tofacitinib, and these are quite recent as well. They're currently undergoing investigations.
Okay.
So ultimately, I'd like to say something. I feel that it's important that we hear all of those different things that are available for treatment. But one thing I realized with treatment and looking at that is that spending most of my time doing that treatment would give me less time to live life to the fullest. And at this point in time, if it's me having to go through all of that work to get my vitiligo covered up or whatever, I'm missing moments. And the moments are what are important to me, the present and the now. And I feel like if there are people who want to use that and do that, then that's fine. Just remember the time that's being used on your body to cover up something that I feel is beautiful and gorgeous. And I feel like the time that I spend on myself, enjoying myself versus looking for all these treatments helps me live a better life and a healthy life. And I feel like sometimes we forget that.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of sad that we forget those pieces.
I fully agree.
Yeah, great point.
No, we fully agree. This is why we need people like you to come and talk to our patients.
Great. Jasmine, did he answer your question satisfactorily?
I was actually asking myself that same question. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, because he was trying to respond to your question, so I was just hoping that he gave you the answer. I mean, the right response.
So essentially, you're saying that like he would have to stabilize the skin cells, the deep pigmented area, in order to do the transplant. Or like,
do you want him to go over his response again?
No.
Okay.
No, I understood. I was just
Okay, great. So how long? It's 3 minutes to 7 p.m. here in the studios of the Progressive Mind Show. We are located in the beautiful city of Chicago. Chicago is the best city in the world. All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. So all right. It's a debate. It's a debate to be had another day. Well, but look, can I at least vote for my city? Yeah.
You can. You got that, brother. You got that.
And then when you get to the third, okay, I'll leave you. No, but it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes to 7 p.m. We got the thriving vitiligo. And we will take a short break at 7 p.m. When we come back, we want to continue. I think I'm getting feedback again. This technical glitch issues. We're hoping we'll get through this without any more problems. But it's been wonderful so far. The challenges, the champions, and basically finding a cure for it. Is there even a need to find a cure? That is what we're talking about. If you have a question, comment, feel free to ring in and contribute. It's 815-277-5047. 815-277-5047. You can ring in and share your ideas. Some of our guests are saying this is not God's natural design for you. If you have it, embrace it, be happy. The doctor is saying there are several treatments available. If you feel that you need it, go ahead for it. Some are saying, look, why waste the time, or why even try to do it when you can be living the best of your life? Doctor, before we go on a break, what is the average cost of trying to get treatment for vitiligo? Like basic.
A lot of money.
Can you hear me?
Cost, did you say?
Yes.
Sorry, did you say cost?
Yes, for treatment, yes.
Look, the cost varies with the types. The cost varies with the types of treatments. For example, the treatments that are applied on the skin will be a couple of dollars. I mean, they'd range from about $20 or $30, for example, for creams that are applied. But on the other extreme, we can have treatments going up to many thousands of dollars. I mean, they are now going to be developing biologics, I'm sure. And you know that biologics for psoriasis in the South African currency, we pay $150,000, in excess of $10,000 or $20,000. Sorry, in rent, it's in excess of $10,000. And fortunately, those are not the main kinds of treatment. And many treatments are available in the state hospitals as well in South Africa. The treatment is accessible to many patients, or to any patient who wants to access treatment. The treatment is available. And narrowband UVB is a popular treatment. And on average, that would cost about $800, for example, for a course of it, for 21 treatments.
Okay. All right. On that note.
But they go on. Sometimes it needs to go on a lot longer.
Yes, depending on the severity. Right. I'm sure depending on the severity or the.
It depends on the severity. It depends. Yeah.
Okay.
I must emphasize the fact There are those who are comfortable in their skins and choose not to treat. We respect that. And we, in fact, even tell them in the beginning that this is an option. No treatment is also an option. So I fully understand what the panelists are saying, and I agree with all of them.
Excellent.
If you don't want to treat it, don't treat it. And if you can tell all our patients to do the same, we'll invite you to come and talk to them.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. We will take a short commercial break. When we come back, the discussion this evening on the thriving community of vitiligo will continue. Vitiligo. I'm torn between the two, but you understand what I'm saying. Okay. When we come back, we shall continue. Share the feed as we go on this break. We love you all. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for fast and reliable delivery services?
Look no further.
Bestman Delivery Services to make your life much manageable.
We offer services such as grocery pickup,
prescription pickup,
food items,
and
gifts,
many more.
We go to your chosen
pickup
location and drop it off location.
Contact us on our website at bestmandelivery.com.
Call us on 773-512-7013.
You can also send us an email at bestmandelivery@gmail.com.
Remember,
we offer services such as grocery pickup, prescriptions, items,
and
many more.
That busy weekend that you need that extra hand.
Bestman is here to make it much easier.
If your weight is between 10
to 40 pounds,
Bestman got you covered.
We have payment options such as
credit card or debit card usage, PayPal, Apple Pay, all cash.
You can also
pay online.
We are covering areas such as Bolingbrook, Romaville, Joliet, Ridge, Lockport, Lamont, Naperville, Plainfield, Crest Hill, and other areas that will be coming up soon.
At Bestman,
your delivery
is
going to be fast and reliable.
Your satisfaction is always our priority.
What are you waiting for?
Bestman
Every step.
You're on me. I want you to love me. You're on me, baby. You're on me.
Welcome back. This is the Progressive Mind Show. I'm your host, Senna, aka Alinko. If you are on Facebook, please share the feed. If you're watching us on YouTube Live, share the feed. If you are on Facebook, or if you do not have YouTube, our YouTube channel, go to YouTube, search for the Progressive Mind Show, subscribe, and click on the notification so that every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. when we come your way, you can be part of the building community process. This is a platform where we engage you and I in dialogues that will bring upliftment, hope to all the things that we crave, all the good things that we crave and love. Visit our website, theprogressivemindshow.com. Make a token donation to us. It goes a long way in promoting and helping and boosting what we're doing. Should I say a small donation? No, don't do a small donation. Do a big one, a huge donation, right? But I said that loosely. Whatever you have, whatever your widow's mite is, please go ahead and help us so we can keep doing what we're doing. It is the Progressive Mind Show, as I said. If you go on there, all our social media handles is there. We're on Twitter, at Progressive Minds, YouTube, as I mentioned, we're on Instagram, and of course, Facebook. Now, my great guests have been awesome this evening, divulging a lot of information, that I never knew of the Vitiligo Society or the Vitiligo people with vitiligo, and it's been great so far. I have learned a lot so far, and I'm sure you have too. We want to go take a moment to acknowledge our audience who have been following us on Facebook. There's so many of them. I'll try to go through. ABEN, Ipe John Ekeng has been here, great supporter of the show, all the way from Texas. We have Tommy Demokun. Tommy is celebrating her birthday today. Tommy, God bless you. We wish you the best in life. May you live to be 150. You want to live to 150?
No, take me out of here.
Yeah. But basically, we wanted to live very, very long. Okay.
All right.
Alicia Archibald is also watching us, and Royal Black Jesus, my own brother, who has a powerful platform, Trend TV Africa. I'm loving it. Even though I already know about it, each day I watch it. I'm loving it. Royal Black Jesus, thanks for the vision, and kudos to the great work that you are doing, you and Empress Maushi. Also, Percy Piajique is also watching us. Okay, there's a comment here. I'll try and get to it. But Diane Yikes Tribet is also here. Portia Kudin is here with us. And Lala Ndum is also watching. And there are so many comments. I'd like to put it up so maybe you all can respond. Adrian B. Korea is also here. Let me see. Okay, so if there's something beeping in where you are, please, like I said earlier, just try and minimize the noise within your area. That way we're not getting feedback. Okay, so there's a question here. It says, "Hi, Dr. Noufal. Can you also comment on the role of photography in the treatment of vitiligo?" Quickly, because we have a lot of comments. You want to respond to that, Dr. Noufal?
So
the question is,
sorry, the line here is very unclear. What medication did you mention?
No, okay. There's a question from one of our viewers. He's saying, can you also comment on the role of phototherapy in the treatment of vitiligo?
Phototherapy is used very extensively. Narrowband UVB is now the favored phototherapy type of treatment. The other therapy that used to be used a lot was ultraviolet A, that's PUVA, used for psoralen. And these days we use a lot of excimer laser and light. So these are the main forms of phototherapy, and they are still very useful, and they are used with a lot of the other newer medications as well. For example, even if one is using tofacitinib, we use it with phototherapy. So it's still very useful for those who want treatment. And it forms one of the most important treatments that we use in vitiligo.
Okay. And then someone's asking, is it normal to run a higher fever with vitiligo?
No.
You're the same
No.
as no.
Okay. No. Okay.
No.
Everybody's saying no. Okay. Good. Okay. I think that's one. We already responded to that. Very well spoken, Sparkle, by Johnny Woods. Thank you, Johnny Woods.
Thank you.
A great supporter of the show. Thank you, Doctor, for your great work in South Africa, from Tommy. And we have Priscilla Baffo says, wow, hey, my sister Priscilla, long time. Thanks for chiming and joining us this evening. Easier said than done. Thank you about when you first got it. That's Alicia Archibald. That's a comment here. It says, thank you, doctor, for sharing the experiences most of the persons living with this condition faces in the society. Okay, maybe I didn't get sharing the experiences most of the persons living with this condition faces in society. Okay, higher levels of depression, social anxiety, low self-esteem, social stigmatization, shame, avoidance of intimacy, among other reasons, have been reported in persons living with vitiligo. Can someone comment on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I never told my story yet. Like you missed me.
I miss you. I don't go. I owe you big time. Share it. Let's take an opportunity to respond to this one. How about that?
Wait, what was the question?
Okay, go ahead and tell us your experience when you first had it, and when you first the age at which you first had it, and then your reaction to it, and then I'll let you see the question after that.
Okay. I got it at 25, so
Okay.
25 years old. And at first, the way my dermatologist described it and showed me, I was afraid of how I would turn out. Like, how would it turn out? Because vitiligo, there's different like, what's the word, yo?
Stages?
There are different forms of vitiligo, like the segmental, universal. So I didn't know what my vitiligo would form to.
Okay.
So it scared me at first.
Mm.
And then over time, with the love of my family and my husband and my children, and just telling me, you know, like, Mom, like, you're really beautiful. Like, I don't even, because I covered for 12 years. And just, I didn't cover for me. I covered because I just, like Ben said, I just got tired of people staring at me all the time. And they made me feel like I wasn't normal. You know what I'm saying? And it's just some skin.
Right.
So that's the reason I covered. And the best thing that I ever did was throw all that makeup away. And like, I feel free. You know, I feel like this, I'm myself. You know, this is who God intended for me to be. And so why would I cover up such a beautiful, you know, why would I cover up all this beauty that God has given me? I believe that God creates us the way he wants us to be. So I'm not ashamed of that. Like, I'm proud of that. And I love helping people to reach the level that I'm at, because it's a fulfilling feeling to just be free.
Absolutely. And we would want to go into the organizations that you all have and represent, and so you can tell us what you do with your organization. So thank you so much for sharing that powerful story. She also mentioned something interesting, which is the various forms of vitiligo. Since you mentioned it, IOMIKOE, what is what type do you have, if you don't mind?
I have universal vitiligo.
Universal, okay.
Yeah, I have more than 60 to 70% of my body is covered with vitiligo.
Okay, so this is what you call universal. Okay, what are some of the other types? Lily, we haven't heard from you in a while, so maybe can you help us? If you know, can you help us go through some of the various forms of vitiligo?
I don't remember all of their names, but one of them, it's like symmetrical on every part of your body. And another kind is you only get vitiligo like on one side of your body, like the left or the right. And that's all I know.
Okay, that's all. Did you also experience some of the societal challenges that some of the panel have expressed growing up?
Yeah, I think to not as of a great extent, because I am white and I have lighter skin, so it's less noticeable. But I still catch people staring and asking questions, which can get uncomfortable at times.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I bursted in the conversation, but like, I've heard that so many times from Caucasian individuals who have vitiligo, but your skin is just as spotted as ours. Your vitiligo.
Yeah, it is, but I think it's less.
Okay.
Prominent, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. One of the words that
on darker skinned people is just more visible because it's connected with our dark. So it's like dark and then dark and then you have like this bold white, you know. So
now with this, so how many? What? Yeah, go ahead. And can you tell us what the main forms? Do we have like three or four major forms of it?
Yeah. You want to know the different types of it, right?
Yes, yes.
So one of them is focal vitiligo, and focal vitiligo would occur in one area or a few areas, and focal just means it's a small patch somewhere. So if somebody has a single patch, we'd call it focal vitiligo. Segmental vitiligo is a type of vitiligo that occurs on one side of the body only. It doesn't cross the midline. So it would occur on an arm or on a leg. And usually this progresses rapidly up till a certain stage, and then it reaches its maximum stage and it stays like that. Those are the ones that respond better to surgical treatments. Then you get a type that is called acrofacial, which occurs mainly on the fingertips and the toes and around the mouth. And the vitiligo vulgaris is the common type. As you know, the word vulgaris or vulgaris means a common type. And often that is symmetrical, like you were describing. It occurs on both sides of the body. It occurs in the armpits, in the groins, on both hands, on both arms, on both legs. And vitiligo also displays what we call the Koebner phenomenon. In other words, at sites of injury, you end up developing vitiligo. That is called the Koebner phenomenon. And then you have a type of vitiligo that you've just described, Miko, that you get universal vitiligo, where the entire body, more than 95% of the body is involved. And that type of vitiligo is usually called vitiligo universalis or universal vitiligo. So those would be in broad categories of different types of vitiligo.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And
you can get mucosal involvement. Yeah.
Yes.
While we're at that, I'll just mention that hair-bearing areas are easier to treat because the vitiligo pigment reservoir is in the hair follicle. So if it's in a hair-bearing area, you can stimulate with narrowband UVB or ultraviolet light. You can stimulate the hair follicles to pass a pigment upwards to the skin, and that's how the skin repigments. In a non-hair-bearing area, it's difficult. For example, on the palms and soles and inside the mouth, it's difficult to repigment the skin in certain areas.
I have a question I have a follow-up question for you, Dr. NOUFAL. Before that, Jasmine has a point to make regarding how she would want people to address, when they're talking about vitiligo. You wanted to go ahead and air your view on that, Jasmine?
I think that the medical perspective needs to alter in the way that they are vocalizing how they're speaking about us.
Okay.
No sound.
I before, like, y'all don't have vitiligo. So it's like you can't say like the ones, like we're not like animals that you're testing on, right? We are people that have lives, that breathe and have feelings. And I think that calling it severity or saying that I mean, like, of course, like, like the hair, I mean, I have platinum white hairs like in my fro, but like, I mean, gray hair is essentially like literally a step down from vitiligo. If you think about it, it's also stress caused. And I wonder if you also tested that same laser treatment that you did with people with vitiligo on people with gray hair. And I wonder if you were able to do some kind of research about that.
I actually would like to add to that as well.
Okay,
as a peer support specialist in alcohol and addiction, there's what we call a stigma. And there's certain ways that we use words that create something that we shouldn't.
Right.
And so the stigma of using things like severity, the verbiage, for substance use disorder and so forth, we try to use that so that people can, they don't feel as uncomfortable with it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I love to be comfortable about being uncomfortable. But one thing I don't like is a stigma that's created, which then is put into someone's brain to make them have low self-esteem and depression and so forth, which is that question that was asked earlier.
Right.
So the way that we talk about these things, and if we talk about them in a better light, there will be more people who feel confident and in their skin. But when we make it as if it's severe and as if it's a huge problem and those types of things, a lot of times people are scared of those things.
Right.
And so I feel like I said before, it is a stigma and it's something that we can work on when we talk about it.
Okay. No, that is powerful. Thanks for educating us on that.
I think when people go to the dermatologist for the first time because their vitiligo is starting to show up, and maybe they're like not really sure how to feel about it or what's going on, and when you have a dermatologist say, "Oh, this is what's wrong with you. This is the severity of it," then that kind of tells them how to feel about what's happening to their skin rather than letting them decide for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because my dermatologist, when I came, he scared the life out of me.
Mm.
He showed me the most severe pictures of people with vitiligo. Like, I mean, like the most, like that's all I dreamed about for the first week of having vitiligo. That's all I dreamed of and thought about all week.
I'm taking careful notes.
Yes.
Of those. Thank you. Like those
looks
pictures,
like
that didn't necessarily mean that I was gonna look like that. You know.
Ayamiko, can you hold for a second? Looks like
Yes.
we have a caller on the line.
Okay.
All right, caller, can you hear? If you can hear us, can you tell us your name and where you're calling from? Hello. Hello, can you hear us? Hello, caller. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Hello, caller.
Your ears are so pretty.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're having difficulties hearing this caller. We would try and go back to the panel. We're sorry about that, caller. It's 815-277-5047. 815-277-5047. Sorry, we lost that one. But Ayomiko, you're making a great point. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I just would prefer for doctors to do this. When there's a patient that comes in and they are, you have to diagnose them with this condition, okay? Like, don't immediately make it seem like it's just so bad for them to have. Like, just, I think if my dermatologist was more warm with me and was like, look, there is no cure for this condition, but I encourage you to live your life. It is nothing that you can do about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, can I say something really quick?
Yes.
Like, literally, with like the doctor speaking on our behalf, it is a form of systemic racism, because it's like people of color, Black people, being told that they need to bleach their skin to look lighter, to look more attractive. And so, this sense of like, yes, I completely am with Ayomiko on that. Like, why don't you just tell the people, like the people, to embrace themselves and that's who they are, instead of just like, here's how to fix you, boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
All the long-term effects of it, it makes it
No, okay, Jasmine, Jasmine, to your point though, okay, I want to come back. In your experience of, working with this and educating the community, have you met Black or other, non-Caucasian specialists, doctors, dermatologists?
I've met doctors from all over the world.
Okay.
So,
okay. And do they all try to make you feel the same way as any other doctor from any other race? Okay.
They're all about trying to bring the skin cells back and the color.
Okay.
But it's like the skin cells are there.
Mhm.
The color's gone doesn't mean we've lost our purpose.
Okay. So in your opinion, you think it has some ratio mindset to it?
As I was saying before, I do agree that it is westernized. Like, I think that a lot of this it originates from stress. And like when we lost our power and were forced to move overseas, that's essentially when most of the color was starting to be noticed of depigmentation.
Okay.
Noticed kind of depigmentation was actually human piebaldism, and the female was born with it. And that was because her parents were being forced from West Africa to Colombia, and her mother was pregnant with her. So when her mother was pregnant, she was stressed. Of course she was stressed as hell, like she's carrying a baby, she's being taken from her home, she's being forced somewhere else, she has no idea where she's going. Then after she gives birth to her baby is spotted.
Okay.
The baby had absorbed all of that stress and it reflected into her skin.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Now, my only maybe take on that is being an African and living in Africa all my life. I also know the stigma
Yeah.
to what you call vitiligo, people with vitiligo. And so I think that I know how it's severe sometimes when you see how Africans treat, fellow Africans who have vitiligo manifesting on their body. Okay, because I'm learning, so I want to use these words that we're learning today. And so it is very severe, and I think that much education and awareness has to be created back in Africa. I don't know how Black people treat people of vitiligo. Just like we're having this caller again. We'll try this caller again. Caller, can you tell us your name and where you're calling from? Hello. Okay, I hear the caller TV or something in the background. Maybe you want to turn your TV down so we can hear you. Okay.
My name is John Oben. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, John. Please go ahead if you have a question or
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, we'll try it again. Yeah, technology is deciding to give us its work site today, but that's fine. It's been a great show. It's been a great show already, and we apologize to our caller for that technical glitch. We hope we can get through you. It's a work in progress, so please bear with us. Let's see if we have a few people who have joined us with some comments, and then we can come back to the conversation. Doctor, he says that to Dr. NOUFAL, what are the risk factors of vitiligo? The African and American version is trying to come out at the same time. Vitiligo and vitiligo. So that's vitiligo. Okay, so we'll go the American way. Sarah Miller says
some of the problems associated. You know that vitiligo is associated with other autoimmune conditions, and one of our panelists has got 4 different autoimmune conditions. So that is one of the problems that we see. And sometimes we screen for other autoimmune conditions like thyroid disease or like diabetes. Thyroid disease is not commonly associated, but we often screen for thyroid disease. The other issue is, of course, sunburn, because there's no pigment at all in the skin. Sunburn is very common, and it's important for people with vitiligo to at least protect the skin from a lot of sunlight, sun exposure. It seems to be protective against skin cancer, so we don't see as much skin cancer as we'd expect to find, for example, in albinism. In albinos, where there's no pigment, and the whole genetic basis of albinism is a little different, we see a lot of cancers in albinism that we don't see in vitiligo. For some reason, it tends to be protective against skin cancers. So from that point of view, there's a bit of protection, but we do advocate the use of sunblock to all patients who have vitiligo.
I really, really like Kim Jackson.
Does that answer your question?
It was from a Facebook follower, so he can audibly communicate with you, but I'm sure that you're listening. So thanks for responding to that question. Thank you so much. Lindsay wanted to make a comment on this.
No problem.
Yeah.
So I really like Kim Jackson's comment right here, talking about cultural backgrounds and the upbringing that may be a driver behind seeking treatment. And at the end, she says here that she did try creams and steroids in the beginning. And I know my father, who's had it forever, he's about 59 now, he tried a lot of that stuff. I tried the phototherapy and it helped for a little bit, but it was so time consuming. It took so much of my time that by the time I got a spot that was back to the color, then other stuff was already happening. So to me, it was like, how long am I gonna spend my time on this? Okay. And knowing that that was gonna happen, I also knew that, once again, I wanted to know why my doctor didn't say, hey, you know what? You're also probably going to want to talk about this new change and this transformation. Maybe you need to get therapy, or maybe you want to find groups. Maybe you want to talk about what's going to happen, the transformation and the things that are new to you, so you can learn to embrace them and feel comfortable. But I didn't get that, you know, and finally being able to speak out about that and be emotionally in tune with how I feel, I was able to let people know about my skin condition and feel comfortable with it.
Okay.
But I had to do a lot of work around that in order to do it. And that was the therapy that helped me.
Okay. What is the fine line between albinism and vitiligo?
Well, albinism you're born with. It's a genetic.
It's a different genetic basis, but basically in albinism, there's no pigment at all anywhere in the skin. So the entire skin is white, and it's not because it becomes white, it's white from the beginning. And with vitiligo is always an acquired disease. You know? Well, we talk about it in the form of a disease because it is an attack against melanocytes. There's something physical going on in the body that is not supposed to be happening. So that is the attack against the melanocytes. The lymphocytes, which are the body's immune cells, physically attack the melanocytes, and the melanocytes are destroyed. Whereas in albinism, the melanocytes don't reach their target area. They don't reach the skin, right?
Okay. All right. So
this is how the skin becomes white. It doesn't color at all in the.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that the next question, which is close to this one, is: are people with albinism able to reach pigment?
No, not usually. Not usually, and they've got to be very, very careful in the sun because skin cancers are very common. You get two types of albinism: one that does have some pigment and one that doesn't have any pigment at all. So the ones that have pigment will have some pigment lying around, but the ones with no pigment remain with no pigment. And sometimes even the eyes are depigmented. They look pink in color or red in color, and the cancers can occur even inside the eyes. They can occur anywhere where the skin is devoid of pigment. So one's got to be very careful about skin cancers. We see skin cancers in albinism at the age of 9 and 10 in little kids. That normally people, the adult Caucasians get at 40.
Okay, so maybe this question goes to both the doctor and the other panel. Say somebody wants to get treatment. What is the definition of heal or treatment, or full treatment when it comes to somebody?
Now, ideally, what patients want, ideally what patients want is total repigmentation. If they want treatment, if we can offer treatment, we want 100% color match with a normal skin. This is what people would regard as full treatment, and this is what everybody wants.
Okay. All right.
But science at this stage doesn't always or isn't always able to offer that, and this is where the question of embracing the condition comes in. That I think I'm learning from all of you as well. What you want to hear from doctors and what you would like doctors to consider when they see patients. This is an educational thing for me as well, because when we speak to patients, we'll now incorporate all these ideas. We don't always hear this from patients. They come, they listen quietly, they go. But what they think about, nobody communicates to us. So this is a huge learning exercise. And we will obviously incorporate these ideas.
Y'all should
Those who want
actually
treatment can have treatment, but we'll also remember to tell them
conferences when y'all have like y'all dermatologists.
Wait. Jasmine, let him land. We land quickly, okay? And then Jasmine can respond. Jasmine is itching. She's bubbling to respond to you. Go ahead, Dr. Noel. Can you land?
What I'm saying is,
yes.
What I mean to say is that we would use each treatment in rotation for a certain period of time and not just go on and on and on with it. So, for example, if we try phototherapy, we want to see a response within 21 treatments. And if we see spots coming back in the skin, it gives us some impetus to carry on. If we are not seeing a single spot of pigment coming in that time, we've got to call it a day and tell the patient this and this is not working for you. Let's do something else.
All right.
And if the patient is willing to do something else, we'll do something else. But if at that point the patient decides, look, I want to embrace this condition, we will help them to do that.
Great. Now, at this point, I want us to move into the organizations that you all represent. I know, Doctor, we've talked more about the organization you represent, but I would want the other guests to tell us the organization they represent and why they're representing it. But before that, briefly, I'll start with IOMIKOE. what is your greatest challenge right now, if you have one, when it comes to a condition like vitiligo?
I don't have a challenge, but it's difficult dealing with people telling me what race I am when I know that I was born African American. Like, people seem to like my skin condition has nothing, it doesn't change my race. It's just my skin.
Right.
So I have a hard time having people question my race. That gets on my nerves because I love being a Black woman.
Got it.
And how dare you tell me what I am and I know what I was born. So only that. Everything else, I mean, I embrace it and I love me.
Great. Sparkle.
I think one of the biggest challenges I face is the way that people communicate about vitiligo. And I believe that if you don't have all of the information you need to comment, just research it, ask the questions. I feel like people want to comment and they want to say a lot of things about something that they've never experienced. And if you give yourself an opportunity to learn it and then comment, it makes it a little bit easier for people to move along.
Okay.
So it's a pretty big challenge for me.
That's the biggest challenge. Okay. Ben, please.
My biggest challenge is confidence as I move into entrepreneurship, going into a new arena of business. It's a little scary, but I know that I'll get there one day. It's a work in progress. I pray and meditate every day for confidence, just to be bold, strong, and just, fearless, basically.
Thank you. Lily.
I don't think I face many challenges anymore, but one thing that drives me like crazy is when makeup artists make it look like they have vitiligo. I think it kind of lessens the experience of people who actually have vitiligo and have struggled with it. And they might not necessarily realize it when they're doing it, but it doesn't feel good seeing.
That never heard about that. So thanks for enlightening. I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people who haven't heard a lot of the things that you guys are sharing this evening. So
it's like doing blackface.
Thank you. That's what I was just gonna say.
Okay,
it's like doing blackface.
Okay,
like,
just say it. You have the chance to say it. Go ahead.
It's like doing blackface. I mean, you don't want.
Hey, Miko, it's Jasmine's turn.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right.
Okay. I agree. I was actually just about to say that too. It is blackface because people who are putting on this makeup or Instagram, they can remove those. And it's the same thing with like people painting their face black, like they can remove the paint from their face, but like the person who is black is still black. And like that's our identity. So I kind of wrote some things down because I realized I might be coming off a little too passionate. I'm so sorry. Civil rights activists, one of them has to be it.
Yeah.
That's me. But I have a time with doctors trying to speak for us. And like, I really do appreciate Dr.
NOUFAL.
Thank you. For like, actually sitting with us and talking with us.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't heard anything that Jasmine said. There's no sound coming through, but I can comment. Shall I? Do you want me to say something?
No,
Yes?
no. Jasmine was on the comment and she referred to you, but it's not your turn yet. We'll come to you soon.
Okay.
Okay, I can't hear what Jasmine is saying at all. So maybe you can repeat it to me after she finishes.
Okay, maybe Justin. Yeah, maybe Jasmine, if you can come closer to the microphone, to your computer.
Is it better?
Yeah, well, a lot better.
Oh, apologies. Okay, so I'm just like lounged out on my computer. Sorry. But like I was agreeing with IOMIKOE and Lillian saying that I agree that the filters as well as like keeping people's faces with spots.
Can you hear Dr. NOUFAL? Can you hear her?
Not at all. No.
Okay.
She's the only one I can't hear at all.
Okay. Well, that means you're not supposed to hear then.
Yeah. No, she was being really nice.
No. I was just.
I won't take offense.
No, we're joking. That was just, but when she's done, we'll try and tell you what she was trying to say.
Yeah. But I do agree with that, and I would like
okay.
agree that doctors like should take these social activist kind of precautions and going into the actual field and not just being in your laboratory, like testing our skin, seeing like what pigment, what can re-stimulate the melanocytes. It's all scientific. Like, yes, we get that, but you lose the social aspect in it because you become promoted scientist researcher. And my uncle's a research scientist at for Crohn's disease at Anschutz, which is a huge medical campus in Denver. But like, that's why I'm able to know like the fact that you have to be able to put yourself in our position, in our shoes. I also have an issue with like parents who are not fully ethical in their morals. You know what I mean? Like, so like, oh yeah, stop staring at that lady because, you know, people look different. We're all different, lady. Like, first of all. Second of all, I have schooled a couple of children in public because they were being discriminatory and they're bullying an adult, but like I spanked them with my words and, you know, they will never do that again. But like, I think confronting people about the way that they're vocalizing your difference to other people, I think is definitely important. And people feeling sad about being beautiful, I think is like one of the things that I have a hard time with, because I mean, I Sparkle, I was like, oh my God, you look like you have a map on your chest, and I photographed her. Yeah, so it's like really beautiful, unique markings, and it's hard. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to get there. It's hard to accept it. I would recommend therapy.
Okay.
Therapy is
Okay, great. So let's go. It's 7:42 p.m. and you're still logged on to the Progressive Mind Show. If you just joined us, the discussion this evening is the thriving community of vitiligo or vitiligo, depending on what part of the world you are in. It's the challenges, the champions, and the finding the cure if we need one. The doctor has been telling us his version. The other panelists also have been responding and telling us their story and sharing their experiences and teaching us, you know, some of those things that we do not know. You, the beautiful audience, have been extremely supportive. So many points and comments coming through. I'm sure some of you have been trying to call, but the phone system has a mind on its own of its own this evening. I'll check him. I'll definitely going to check it right after the show. I have a conversation to have with my phone system. But that's just on the light side. Let's try and go through some of the comments, and then we want to go into your personal organizations that you are headed. I mean, that you initiated and whatnot. So actually, Alicia Archibald says, thankfully, I had a very encouraging doctor. She did not have vitiligo, but she was very kind in explaining what it was and what I might experience. She did offer a few possible treatments, but left the decision to me. Even suggested the Dermablend makeup. She has been helpful. Thanks. Dermablend. Oben says, hi, doctor. Not sure how familiar you are with this story. In India and perhaps elsewhere, also men, women, and children with vitiligo face severe psychological and social platforms. In India, vitiligo is commonly known as leukoderma and unfortunately associated with some religious beliefs. In some Indian religious texts where reincarnation is believed, it is said that a person who did Guru Dra is in his previous life suffers from vitiligo in this life. Is this a common belief across cultures? Maybe everybody, maybe the panel can chime in on that based on the culture.
This certainly, yeah.
Okay.
Get to speak.
Shall I just comment on this? I've been waiting to make this point, and I was just wondering where to fit it in.
Okay.
It is absolutely true that in India, vitiligo is hugely stigmatized.
Okay.
In fact, young girls find it difficult to find marriage partners because marriages are arranged in India. And
In
this is
Africa.
absolutely true, that it is believed that because of reincarnation, no, in Africa, we don't have the situation.
No,
We
we
don't
do.
have the situation in Africa.
We do.
We
I
do.
mean, people look upon vitiligo with disdain, but not because of reincarnation and so on.
Yeah.
Not
Doctor-
because of reincarnation, and not because
Yeah.
people believe that you did some evil in your past life.
You know,
I believe it's a curse or something like that.
Juju curse.
yes, exactly. See, a comment just came through. It says that
Okay.
it says that religious and traditional challenges in Tanzania arrested over 200 witch doctors and traditional healers that uses vitiligo and albino body parts. Malawi and Kenya also.
Albino,
now,
yes.
this is,
Albino, yes. Yeah.
okay, but again, from the
Albino,
part of
we have this problem even in close to our borders.
okay, the part of Africa we come from, if you have vitiligo condition, you are included. I mean, you are seen as, you know what I'm saying, like you're just seeing the light of an albino, and whatever traditional belief and norms that goes with that, they kind of put you in all of you in one bracket, which is something that as Africans we need to address, you know, and that is why we started this. This is not the end of the conversation. This is just the beginning. We're going to be engaging in that. More so within the African community, we need to have a lot of education going on in here. Somebody is asking, is vitiligo genetic?
Yes.
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 She said her daddy and her brother, and she had it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Johnny, what was that answers your question? Let's go into.
It's about 20% of people will give a family history.
Pearl, can you share the most difficult challenge when it comes to a person with vitiligo? I think I missed you, so please go ahead and share your experience.
I don't have any personal challenges, but I know people that have gone through challenges. My grandmother went through a lot of challenges because she's got vitiligo, and she got very depressed and ended up passing away early from us. And it's very hard. It's very hard. I wish the society will just receive us the way we are and love us the way we are.
Okay.
I think it will help a lot.
Okay. All right. People should just see you, just as Pearl and not, look at, what's around, what's on you. Okay. Let's start with IOMIKOE. You have a beautiful, it's perfectly cosmetic,
perfectly painted cosmetics.
Good. What do you do with it? Briefly, because of time, it's 7:48 p.m. Very soon at 8 p.m. 7:48 p.m. And at 8 p.m., of course, we have to end the show. So if you can help us, tell us.
I have a cosmetic company. I mean, just because I have vitiligo don't mean that I don't like wearing makeup.
Okay.
I just don't want to cover my my vitiligo. So I created a company that and plus our skin is very sensitive onto the things that we put. So my company is vegan and cruelty free and gluten free. That's the kind of products I have. I only sell the accessories to makeup, like eyelashes, eyeshadow, lipsticks, lip glosses. I mean, you don't have to wear a face full of makeup to be beautiful. I feel like makeup can be an accent to your beauty.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next. Sparkle Lindsay, the organization you represent and what it's, what you're about.
So the organization that I represent is a nonprofit organization called Springs Recovery Connection. I'm a peer support specialist in alcohol and addiction, but I also deal with a lot of people who are dealing with vitiligo and alcohol and addiction. So as a recovery coach, it's been really, really helpful to walk side by side with some people who are dealing with vitiligo and alcohol and addiction, and also be able to help them through that. I am not a therapist, but one of the biggest pieces to have all walks of life and help you through something that's a change or transformation is something that Springs Recovery Connection does. So it's been a big eye opener for me to see how many people are going through the way they look, the things that put them through depression and so forth. And being a part of that and being able to walk side by side with people has been a huge part of my life and a big purpose in my life. And that's what I do.
Okay. We'll come down to Ben, your organization, why you initiated it, and the vision for it. I mean, the purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the name of my organization is the Vitiligo and Albinism Network. It started out the Tennessee Vitiligo Awareness Network, and in our community here in Tennessee, I did do some outreach with the albinism community, brought them into my organization, and we are now one. So I advocate for albinism and for vitiligo, and our purpose is just to spread awareness, love, encourage one another, and like these people on this panel, is strength passes on. So these people are very important in our community because they encourage the weaker ones to learn that love and to learn that strength.
Thank you.
So
thank you so much. Next to Ben is Lily. Go ahead.
I run the Instagram account vitiligo.beauty, and I just like to work to show people with vitiligo that they can be beautiful, because a lot of people like are just starting to go through it and haven't realized the confidence that they can get from having vitiligo. I think for me personally, it's boosted my confidence in myself. And just talking with people who are having a hard time with it is really meaningful to me. Once felt that way, and being able to help others who feel that too.
Thank you. And then Jasmine, you are a social activist. Tell us what you do with it. I know you're also a professional photographer. I've seen some of your pictures in Ghana. Is it Ghana or maybe some other African country?
Yeah, my mom is from she's from Winneba, but my grandpa's from Winneba. My grandma is from Dentra. So
okay.
So I grew up back and forth from Santa Maria in Accra, and
wow, you lived in Santa Maria.
There's
okay.
Or college, yeah, in Santa, and also in Accra.
Okay.
But so my activism like helped develop the idea of Skin, which is a vitiligo nonprofit organization that helps empower people to feel accepted and empowered, and educate people about difference. I obviously need to redo my elevator pitch. I also have a natural skincare company that makes organic, naturally, and like ethically sourced skincare products that have a shea butter base with, and all of it has a natural SPF. And so I'm working on that as well, and like the logistics of that. But we've developed a sunscreen for vitiligo specifically for people with depigmented skin. Yeah. And so yeah, all the shea butter is sourced directly from Ghana, and I work with the farmers like intimately for that. I also developed a photographic printing process, which is used in the educational system in the university, but it's called the Ghana type. I acquired gold from the Obuasi mine that initiated the Atlantic slave trade, and I turned that into a solution and then printed the cowrie shell, because the shell was used as a form of currency during the Atlantic slave trade. And so I printed the cowrie shell with the Ghana type, and so it's a way to reclaim our materials that were used against us.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a lot, so that's all I'll say.
It sounds like it. You went to gold, you went to shea butter.
All the Ghana things I'll take.
All the Ghana things. I didn't hear cocoa. I didn't hear timber. I didn't hear bauxite.
I had to cut myself off.
Okay. And we're into soccer too. We're one of the best soccer nations in the world. So
please,
you might as well go into soccer business. I'm in soccer business. Maybe we'll talk offline.
Yeah.
Okay. No, just kidding. But Pearl, please. Your organization, actually, Pearl. When I chatted with you, you showed me something interesting, which I would like everybody to see. One of your organization. I mean, you shared this with me. And so I did like to share with the audience if you guys
are you looking for
This is not it. It is not it. Where is it? Your okay. So looks like it's not. But tell us about your organization. I think I'll try and find it. Go ahead and tell us about your organization and what it represents.
Okay. Personally, I recycle used ties, used car ties into coffee table.
Okay.
And aside that, I decided to create this support group that is called Beauty of Vitiligo.
Okay.
Because I realize how beautiful we all look, but there are people out there who are not confident in their skin.
Right.
Who are so scared to go out because of how they are received out there. So we support people like that. We encourage them. And also, I've written to the government. I'm trying to get the government to support the group and also support people who would like to cure the vitiligo. I know it's a long way, but I know there are people who want a cure. So that's what I'm working on now, trying to get the government to just support us financially, to accept that we need help. Some people need help so that they can help us.
Okay. So if you said the government, you're talking about, because you're talking about the Canadian government.
Oh yeah, Canadian government, sorry.
Right. Okay, so yeah, because there are so many governments there.
Yeah, Canadian government. Sorry about that.
No, you and I are good. It's 3 minutes, and it's been a great evening. I have truly loved this show. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure my audience have too. Let me read this comment from Sierra. There are so many comments, but this is very powerful. Among all the other powerful ones, I want to be able to read this one real quick. Hopefully, we didn't lose it. Okay. Okay. This is what happens when trying to find it. See if I can see here. She says, Dr. NOUFAL, I appreciate your acknowledgement that doctors are not always in the conversation with patients. I see that there is a lot of work that will need to be done to remove the language of normal from the conversation, because what is normal skin when dealing with people with this condition, when dealing with people in general? That's the question. The professional language around vitiligo definitely has to change. Thank you all for bringing awareness to this issue. There has to be more compassion and more centering of the narratives of people with the conditions that doctors treat. That's one comment. And then Archie B. Culture says, the cure will be as different as the people, journeying through the process of self-awareness, navigating the triggers caused by trauma, and discovering my purpose has been my cure. My challenge is with self. I am constantly checking to ensure I have not accepted other narrative. I had to find my voice so I could tell my own story. Vitiligo is also only one condition that created a shift. My voice has been the hope after every transformation. And last comment, because of time, last two comments. Oben says, you are an amazing group of overcomers, navigating through social challenges, accepting who you are, and making the best out of yourself, and that has not been an easy journey. Congratulations to all of us, and just to continue to be yourselves. Reach out to those who will still be where you are. Reach out to those people who may need to know more about this. I'd like to join your organization. Yeah. We can do this together. We can catch up with each other through Zoom calls. My brother Alinko, God bless you and this platform. April Belizian says, thank you for supporting those of us who are not in the acceptance stage yet. It is difficult, but hopefully I will get there one day. And the last comment says, I have said thanks and congratulations to the panel, but want to make sure I say thank you to the host. Yes, if I don't know what I would have done to you if you had left me out. I mean, how how can people reach you all? I want you to give us, thank you. Let's start with Dr. NOUFAL. Give us your how can people reach out to you when they want, if they want to?
It's VitiligoSocietySA.com. That is our website. And the Instagram page is Vitiligo Society SA.
Okay.
My own email address is raboobee@iafrica.com.
Okay, thank you. IOMIKOE.
I think that's enough. Yeah?
They can reach out to me. They can reach out to me at www.perfectlypaintedcosmetics.com. There's a blog on my website for my cosmetics, and they can comment on it. It has like different skin conditions, so they can come on there and send questions and stuff.
Okay, so Sparkle, and then after Sparkle, Arthur, Lily, and then that way around. Okay, please go ahead.
All right, my organization is Springs Recovery Connection. It's www.springsrecoveryconnection.org. And there's also website to volunteer by helping and listening to people's voice and hearing their lived experiences. Thank you.
Okay, Ben?
Yes, you can look me up on Facebook, the Vitiligo and Albinism Network, or you can go to tvanstrong.org. That's TVANSTRONG.org.
Okay. Lily?
You can search up vitiligo.
Will you put all these up on your website, on the Instagram?
Yeah. Yes, I will put all of your organization on my on my social media platforms. No worries. And after I've done so, we will send you the invoice, and then you will. Okay. So okay. Lily, go ahead.
You can
sorry.
vitiligo.beauty on Instagram, or email me at vitiligobeautygirl@gmail.com.
vitiligobeautygirl@gmail.com. Okay. We got Jasmine. How can people reach out to you?
I'm the Spotted Elephant on Instagram, and just my full name, Jasmine ABENA COLGAN, on Facebook.
Jasmine ABENA. You know what ABENA means, right?
Yeah.
Do you speak any Ghanaian dialect?
Yes, I do. I speak Ghana. Okay. I'm learning Fanti and I'm learning Chi.
Okay. Well, she spoke Ghana. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's nice. It was more fun. You're coming to Stona.
My favorite.
All right, Pearl.
Okay, so you can get me on Beauty of Vitiligo Facebook. Sorry, you can get me on Facebook, Beauty of Vitiligo, or Pearl AGBOKA on Facebook. When you send me a message, I'll be right on to reply.
Now, viewers, everybody, see, apart from what Pearl is into, Pearl is also a gardener. She farms. She makes her own vegetables. She doesn't need to buy anything from Whole Foods or any other grocery store. And she makes this. Watch this. So Pearl transforms used car tires into coffee tables, like used car tires, and then she turns them. That's the video you just watched. Like when I heard the story and when she sent the pictures, I'm like, wow. I'm like, is your company registered? She said, no, I just started. I'm like, wow, you haven't registered this company? Okay, I'm going to register it. I'm going to have it in my name, and then you make the product, and then so Pearl is awesome. Can you believe it? That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you all need coffee tables made out of tire, this is manufactured by our own sister, Pearl. All the way in Canada. Pearl, how did you come up with this vision? Our time is out, but please tell us, how did you come up with this vision?
I was going through a tough time, and I've been ill for a while, so I was off work for a year. I couldn't work. I couldn't stand on my feet to work. So I was thinking of what to do that I can earn something. And I thought of it. I can do this sitting at home and taking care of my kids and not going out to work. So actually, I'm very creative. So I just decided to try one, and it was a success. So I started showing out to people, and people started giving me orderings, and I've been very busy actually. So that's how I came by.
Okay. So very soon you will have a website where people can order more coffee tables made out of used car tires from Pearl. What's the name? What do you call it? Is there any brand name for it or any specific?
No, I've not given any brand name for it.
Can anybody volunteer a name on the show? IOMIKOE.
Something from
I don't know, but I want a table though. That was so cute.
Thank you so much.
I know I'm gonna buy a table.
Okay.
That's what I know.
So anybody wants to get in touch with her, her information is up there. If not, reach out to the Progressive Minds team. The number is you can send us an email to info.progressiveminds@gmail.com or call 773-691-4932. 773-691-4932 or reach out on our social media platform. We'll give you her information so we can support. And all of you who have businesses, let's support all your businesses. If you're giving out your information, let's support our businesses, our organization. This is what it's all meant to be. Finally, we've passed, it's 8 minutes past the time, but I can't leave without letting you all have your final words. Your final words. We'll start with the doctor and then we'll come all the way down. Dr. NOUFAL, your final words.
I think this was a great learning experience. And we've learned now not just to treat patients and tell them what treatments are available, but to see the humanity behind them and offer them alternatives. And I think it was really great being part of the panel. And we'll certainly take your words of wisdom to heart and certainly bring this in the point of discussion when we deal with our patients. So thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you so much. IOMIKOE.
I just want all my Vitiligo fam to know you are perfectly painted with a purpose. That's it.
Thank you. Sparkle. You know what? Before you go on, during the entire show, I've been referring to you as Lindsay. Please, instead of Sparkle. So I wanted to just apologize for that. Okay.
Okay. No worries.
Between you and I. Okay. All right.
Oh, between you and I, yes. I just want to say that to each and every person who's dealing with vitiligo, any type of ailment that may be supposedly holding you back, take your heart and run with it. Acknowledge yourself, validate how you're feeling, and have compassion for yourselves. And that'll help you find compassion for others. And it'll also help us find hope during this time and any time that we need it. So I just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of this panel. And I'm really glad that we were able to enlighten people on what vitiligo is about and a few other ailments and so forth. And I hope to be able to have more panels like this.
Absolutely. Yes. We'll definitely have more of it. My brother, Ben.
My message is very simple. If you keep pursuing the light and if you're in that dark place, just keep pursuing the light and you can manifest anything you want in this world. If you keep pursuing the light, you will find your way.
That is powerful. That is very, very powerful. Lily.
My message is once you not only accept your vitiligo but embrace it, you can become so much more confident and love yourself more than you ever have before.
Wow, that was very, very powerful. Jasmine, now I know you're my gun sister, so you and I are going to be on it.
By the way, I wanted to say Sparkle has such a beautiful name. Like her middle name, like I'm not gonna say it because I'm not gonna. But like, she has a very beautiful name. But
Thank
like,
you.
yes, of course. I remember that when you were filling it out, like the little waiver. But I want to say that like people who are spotted, you know, you're not alone. It feels like a struggle, like you are alone. Honestly, anybody on this panel, reach out to us. If you feel like you are in a life-threatening situation that you need to communicate with somebody, reach out to one of us. The thing is, we understand exactly what you've been through because we've been in your same shoes, and we'll help walk you through it.
Thank you so much for making it short and simple. Abena, now I can call you Abena. Now that I get the connection, I get a call Abena. Pearl, your last words, please.
Okay, I want to say thank you to Alinko for having us on his show, and also to all of you who made it possible for this show to come on. I would say especially Abna, because you had an accident. You are having a lot of pains, but I keep pushing you, and you said yes to my call. And also, I want to say to everybody out there who has vitiligo, I just want to tell you that be confident in your skin, love who you are. Anytime, any day, you can call on us if you have any problem. We are ready to talk with you. We are ready to be by your side. Just ignore whatever the world have for you. Just ignore them. Pretend you are not seeing what they are doing, and you can go very far.
Powerful. Well, one thing that stood out for me this evening is our choice of words and how it can make others feel, regardless of health, politics, economics. Let's just be careful the words we use, and let's think about it for a second before we let them out. And another powerful line is that vitiligo helps us find our voice. The person who said that knows themselves. Should I make it public? Oh, okay, now you give yourself up. You said sure, so that everybody knows who made that comment. Vitiligo helps us find our voice. Guys, I have been blessed this evening, and I've been blessed to have you as my panel. It's been a joy. My audience, from Alicia, Archibald, to Royal Black Jesus, to Kizzy, and some to Sierra Miller, to Dr. Tommy, April Belizean, Akiche. There's a lot of names. I'm not able to go through all of it. However, all I can say is that it's been wonderful. Thank you all so much. This has been your host, Alinko, with the Progressive Mind Show. Remember that every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m., we engage the community in dialogues such as this. Join the movement. Our website is theprogressivemindshow.com. I hear the government is giving out a lot of SBA loans and whatnot. When you receive yours, go to our website and dump a lot of money in there. Those are in addition to us. Remember to purchase. Let's patronize our products and our organizations. Let's share them. Send me your information. I'll put them on my social media, my platforms, so we can all together build a stronger community. Once again, it's been much love coming your way, my audience. God bless you. Next week, Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m., we shall be coming your way again. Remember, to whom much is given, much is required. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.